Welcome, everyone, to Kaiju Kami. I'm Cruellica Kain. This is the one and only Kaiju no Kami. Apparently, as you can tell, he is super interested in this recording, especially because we don't have our moral compass here, Silverquill. So, say hello to everyone, Kaiju.
Yo.
Wow! Wow, that was super enthusiastic.
Yep, I played all my cards in my deck.
But, since this is the first video post my knowing we've reached a milestone, we're over 7,000 subscribers. Woo!
We were past that when we did the Black review.
I didn't know that!
Oh, okay.
So, woohoo!
Anyway, so we are here to talk about Ultraman Decker, episodes 16 and 17. And,
So, episode 16 is about Pandon, or is there, as it's nicknamed throughout the episode, Spitty. Because it looks like one of those dragon fruits with a mouth. Because at first when I saw it, I was like, is that supposed to be like not a dragon fruit, whatever the prickly fruit is, that has like spines all over it, that we tried one time.
oh, the one that was like jello-y on the inside?
Yes!
I don't remember what that was called.
So, I'm not a huge fruit person. My limitation of fruits that I enjoy are apples, blueberries, and bananas.
Heathen.
No, I like strawberries, peaches, black rice.
Heathen!
But I like them in smoothies.
All I know is that fruit made me think of a Namek ship from Dragon Ball. That's all I thought of. Or Dodoria.
So we're like super cultured when it comes to exotic things. Because we saw this because we've seen like a lot of random fruits at Sprouts here in Colorado. And we'll take pictures like, what is this?
Like,
thinking it's like this most mysterious fruit.
Hey, is this the fruit from Gaim? Is this a fruit from Gaim?
And then people will be like, oh, this is this, and da da da, and it's like,
way to ruin the mystery.
I kind of feel like we're that in Buffalo. I swear, back when we lived in Buffalo, which is many, many, many moons ago, we didn't see any of these crazy ass fruits. So I really think they were cooked up in the lab, brought here because it's Colorado, and we're higher than a kite. And people just eat it because they think it's highfalutin.
Just eat it.
But
okay,
I digress.
So we have these really incompetent TPU guys trying to catch Spinny with these
butterfly nets. Okay, the moment I saw those nets, because apparently I can't keep on track this week, all I thought was Animal Crossing when the character is running around with this net trying to catch bugs because you get rewards for them. And you can sell them for a lot of money and pay off your house. Yes, you sell living creatures in Animal Crossing to buy things. But that sounds terrible when I say it like that.
We'll continue.
But nevertheless, all I thought of was the character, whomever you name your character, mine was called Sakura, running around with this net trying to catch bugs. That's all I thought about. And then it comes down to this little old lady with this tin, I don't know what it was. Like this tin pot. She puts it on there because the Spinny runs right into her. And everybody's apparently afraid. And she thinks she caught it, and then Spinny escapes. Then we go to our trio of heroes. And they also have these nets. And they sneak up on this Spinny thing.
You could say it was a net sum game.
I would say it's zero net sum. But anyways, they all throw down their nets onto each other's head. It was like Looney Tunes level. And I thought it was adorable. I thought it was ridiculous. But what I really liked about this episode was that Kanata, or Intrusive, as we've called him before, is really affected by everything that happened in episode 15 with Aga. Because of the whole situation of being told, well, it's humanity's fault that this has happened. Not that it's a justification to come back in time, create your own, be your own grandfather or anything like that. Sorry, Futurama still affects me. And things like that. But he's definitely troubled by this, especially because he trusted the doctor and felt like a kinship with him prior to being betrayed. Obviously, it was a very well-developed kinship off screen, but there was that relationship. And I think it was just, so I like seeing that continuity in a way, that they continued the story. You're really into this right now.
Well, no, it's just, I was kind of bored during this episode. Because they're just trying all these antics to catch Spiny. And then they meet Spiny who's over a crevice of some sort with
the oar.
And
which reminded me once again of Animal Crossing.
They're shooting at him. He flies down into the crevice, and they think they shot him down. After he grew 2 heads. Or a second head. And then up comes Pandon. And we have our Ultra Battle. Which you'd think by now they'd be like, oh my god, Kanata is Ultraman.
Well, especially because Pandon, whatever, grabs a rock. And it's a really big rock.
I hit him with a rock. It was a really big rock.
That's all I thought of when I saw that. And if you don't know what that's from, shame on you for not knowing culture from the 90s.
Almost got him.
Batman the Animated Series, just in case.
You didn't have to say it.
Well, just in case any of your students who have never seen Batman.
It was fine and almost got him.
Okay, nevertheless. So Pandon throws the rock at Kanata. Comes over where it's like crushing Kanata, which it's kind of like the scene from Alien, the newer Alien movie that had the wheel that was rolling around and you had the two...
Oh, Prometheus. When Charlize Theron's character is just like, I'm going to run in the same direction this wheel is coming by.
This gigantic wheel.
I'm not going to deviate the positioning like the other girl did. Nope, I'm just going to continue running straight.
Which, in the case with this rock, there's not really much you can do deviation. The rock was pretty large. And so it falls on him. Everybody's like, oh my god, Kanata. And then you have Ultraman coming up literally like a wrestler, lifting the rock as he's growing large. And I even said it while we're watching. I was like, how can you not know this is Ultraman by now? Because it's clear.
Well, given that the one lady didn't know Kanata was turning Ultraman right in front of her, essentially, in the last episode, some time ago, why would they know it?
Anyways, so we have our Ultra Battle. Kanata's arm gets hurt during the battle. He does use the dynamic form.
Which I still like when the shield becomes a sword form.
Like a dual sword. I actually like that gimmick.
Well, like I said, it makes me think of Mumra's Sword of Plundar. But it is kind of weird seeing Ultraman holding these really big looking weapons, but then Kanata has a dinky looking sword and shield. Where it's like, yeah, I have the toy version.
I was going to say, it's a toy sale.
I've got the toy version.
They're not going to sell you the real version. even though I would love the real size version of these things. But anyways, we get through the battle. Pandan is...
There wasn't really much in the way of miniature work that I recall in that one.
Well, in my personal opinion, it's hard to do miniature work really well when you're in a field.
Well, the only scene that really stood out to me camera-wise was at the beginning when we saw the camera spinning around as these guys were trying to catch spinning.
Yes. I did enjoy the CGI effects they had for the flames coming out of Pandan's mouth, where it spun around like a cyclone.
I did actually like that scene, though, when Pouty, she was standing in front of the Pandan, and his flames were coming out of his mouth, and where it actually looked like it was right in front of her.
Yes. I actually thought that was really well done for that. So then we go back to the base. You see Kanata having a wrap around his arm, which we actually do get some continuity from that, which I was kind of impressed about.
In the next episode.
Well, we find out at the end of this episode that apparently the captain
Matoki
has been deemed guilty, potentially, for the whole situation with Agam. Because apparently it's his fault that this guy,
who said he came from the main headquarters of TPU,
it was all the captain's fault.
Apparently.
This is why I've told a few of my coworkers, if anybody tries to get me in trouble, this is why I will never go down with the ship. I am not a captain. If I am going down, I am taking everybody with me.
Whatever. So then we go to the next episode, which at first I thought was going to be a clip show, because when they start saying, oh, the Metron's going to talk about everything that went on, I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
No, and then his foolish ass looks online.
Well, I want to know, make sure. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. This isn't the clip show. Next week's the clip show. Wait, what? Next week, we just had a clip show a couple weeks ago.
So, the episode, even though it could have easily been a clip show, basically what happens is we find out what happens 10 years ago.
Well, first we have... Well, go on, actually.
No, well, we find out what happens 10 years ago with the captain when he was an officer in TPU. And he was... What?
I just... Still, TPU.
I'm
going to TPU.
But anyways...
Halloween night. TPU.
He sees a child that he goes to save. However, nobody else saw this child, so he had to be lying, because apparently no proof means nothing.
So how did this guy even become a commander then if they didn't actually believe his story?
Desperation? Maybe low numbers? But anyways, so then...
All I'm thinking though is, so we've got this guy who has a shady backstory for commander. How shady is it? Very shady. Hire him.
Well, and then we have Grouchy, or Ryuman, who, the moment he hears he saved a child, light bulbs go off, like, maybe I was that. Like, how would you not know you were that child? And I'm sorry, yes, he had full gear on, but you saw his face. How would you not recognize his face? And yes,
there was... was it... that might have been taken directly out of Dinah. Because there was an episode where the commander, I think it was in Dinah, saved a girl, and she never actually met him, but he helped finance her way through school. And it wasn't until the end of the episode when she learned that the commander was the one that saved her. But I don't remember if maybe it was because she did know the entire time. I don't remember on that part.
But
actually.
Nevertheless, I was like, in a way, I was calling shenanigans there. And while all this is going on, we have Go Mess S, which apparently is because it's supersized, walking towards the city. They're not. This is the one thing that really bugged me about the episode. They say, well, this creature is going towards this city. Well, this city has good defenses. It should be fine. I'm concerned about all the places it has walked past while going to this city.
Well,
are you telling me that it was Sunday everywhere else?
That Metron was dumb. Like, okay, why do we even need a Metron for that? Why couldn't they do a Dyna monster, like a Dyna alien for that in the first place? Why did it have to be another Metron?
So we come to find out, while the captain is under suspicion, this seems like a very big flaw in the system.
Only the commander can send you guys out. So what happens if the whole place is under entire alien invasion and the captain's in the bathroom?
Well, I'm like, what is...
Sorry, we can't deploy until he gets done with his shit.
No, I'm also like, what is the point of the vice captain? Like, when I hear the term vice captain...
Second in command.
Yes.
Makes the decisions when the captain is away.
I'm like, and we had to... And basically the Metron, which is named Nigel, says, oh, we've put in a request to get that. I'm like, so you have to have a paper trail for the vice captain to make a decision?
We're sorry, all you civilians. We could have saved your city, but we were too busy having to make sure we had the paperwork to save your city. All 7,000 of you that died, some of you were 4 days away from retirement, had 20 grandkids to take care of. Well, at least you're all in heaven together.
Well, I'm just like, that is the most ineffective bureaucratic process I've ever heard. So, you have a vice captain,
okay,
but it's name only? It's a decoration?
It was even dumber than a Gamera the Guardian of the Universe. Well, there's giant monsters attacking us, but we can't deploy the military. We are a self-defense force, but we need to get permission from the United Nations to deploy. You're having a giant monster attack you. I think they will understand.
Well, okay. The SDF, during that time, Japan couldn't deploy as they were. I understand.
But if a giant monster is attacking your city, I think you get a little bit of leeway.
Well, so the Metron, Nigel, then decides, well, since we're going to have to watch everything burn, let's listen to music.
All I was waiting for was the music from V for Vendetta to pop up with when at the end there when they had the Parliament blow up.
But so they asked Hanajiro, who we forgot to mention last episode. Hanajiro has been repaired.
Yeah, he's been repaired already.
Super quick.
Off screen.
Because I was like, wow, that was quick. And so Hanajiro has been regulated to stay on the sidelines this episode as well because of everything going on. Nigel asked Hanajiro, play music, because apparently he's a stereo.
This was the best part, though.
So, Hanajiro, who is my spirit robot, decides to play heavy metal, which kind of reminded me of, like, Monsters University.
I was going to say, that's all I thought of.
When
the mom says, I'm going to go listen to my tunes.
Yes, and then you have... I was going to say, and you have death metal playing, which I'm like, see... Death metal is awesome. But so, and then it's like a little bit calmer. And then we get something different than all the other duty-free songs.
Okay,
or copyright-free songs.
No. Okay, so it wasn't the one... Okay, I found out, thanks to rewatching Kuga, the name of that one song that's played in every Toei Toku show
Yes.
is Chopin.
Chopin. Or Chopin.
Chopin Revolutionary Etude. Hold on. Where is it? Why am...
Why are you doing... You should have had this prepared in advance.
I just thought of it now. Okay, why? I just pulled it up. Like, there we go. Well, that's not it.
Well, look, it's a commercial. Oh, we're playing a commercial on our video. Is that going to be our commercial break?
But, so this is the thing, isn't every Toku, Toei Toku.
But it's not the song playing in this episode.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Beethoven playing in this episode.
But anyway,
because all I know is I started to think of Clockwork Orange when we were watching it.
well, I just thought, like, this would have been the perfect music to be playing as the monster's destroying everything.
Well, that was the thing. What was the point of having that music scene if they weren't going to carry it over into the monster attacking scene?
So, one thing I forgot to mention earlier in this episode is they were talking about how, like, Ryumon was talking about how Ultraman has hurt his arm. And then we see Kanata looking at his arm, grabbing it, and Ryumon looks point blank at him and says, I am 1,000% sure you're not Decker. And I'm like, okay, anytime I hear the term 100%, all I'm thinking is, alright, sorry guy, you are not 100%. And that's obviously, if you don't know what Toku series that's from, I am sorry. But, when he says that, and then Kanata's like, yeah, no, I'm not. And I'm like, how? I am blonde. I am Polish. I am a ditz in an airhead. It's kind of surprising because I have 4 college degrees, but I am all of the above. And I still would not be as dense.
I really want to just see a series where they're like, hey, what's up, Ultraman? What?
Well, especially because when we get to the end of the episode, Nigel looks at Kanata, nods, kind of conspiratorially, in my opinion, like saying, I know who you are. Because it's obvious. Even the person who has eyes at the literal top of their head can see. But then we have the captain apologize. We have Ryomon saying, no, you're a great captain, along with everybody else. And then Hanajiro plays graduation music.
Which was so random.
And everybody else thought it was random, too. I was like, why graduation music? But they basically use it as a segue to say, well, how about this? And it goes into the closing song.
The ending credits, which just happens to start when Nigel's doing her thing. But yeah, I was not thrilled with these episodes. They felt more like the earlier episodes to the show compared to the batch we had recently watched. I was just sitting there bored, waiting for something to happen. I'm still waiting. Why has there not been a horror-esque episode yet? They had a perfect timing with Halloween. They could have done a horror-esque episode.
Well, I am a consummate, diehard horror fan. I watch horror movies like people watch romantic comedies. But that doesn't necessarily mean you needed one.
Almost every Ultra series has had at least one episode that is horror-oriented.
Well, you also said almost.
Yeah, but Trigger didn't have it. That's what I'm saying. Decker needs to have it. Zet had it. I'm trying to think of the other one. But
maybe the writers don't feel confident in their horror storytelling.
It's annoying. Like, I want a horror-oriented episode because that's also usually when they bring out their most creativity.
No, I can appreciate that.
Just think of the Zet episode with the cameraman that related back to the Ultra Q episode.
So, overall, while these episodes weren't as great as the last batch we watched, I did enjoy them.
Oh my God. Well, going back to Silver Quill's Dora the Explorer aspect. Like, oh, nope, you can't be, you're 1,000% can't be Ultraman. And Dora coming out, oh no.
See, I don't get the joke that, I understand who Dora the Explorer is.
Explorer.
Well, I always think Dora the Explorer. Like, just changing the ER to an A, just making it. Because that's how I think it is. And I know there was a live action Dora movie. But, which I don't know how that would work because that would be terrible. But nevertheless, I just think of like Blue's Clues. Like, so everyone, did you see where that was? And then the host waits, probably similar to Dora the Explorer, and it's like, yes, it's right over there.
But how dumb is Ryuman? 1,000% dumb.
100%. But I just don't understand it. Like, at least when I think of, okay, Zet. When Zet was trying to hide he was Ultraman, even though it wasn't perfect, it wasn't like slap you in the face obvious. And then I'm thinking of even any of the other series. Like, there's a few other series that, yes, it was pretty obvious. I think X was one of those that I'm like, how? Well, actually, no, wait, I think they knew X was Ultraman.
No, well, not in the series. They learned at the end.
Yes.
But, no, it's just, like...
Like, I'm thinking of Tiga. Tiga, he was always in the jet every time. So it made me wonder after a while, even in that series, which I enjoyed, how they didn't know every time the jet goes down and Ultraman comes up, how Daigo didn't die.
Well, and that's why the commander lady, she knew.
Well, yeah, and that helps now knowing, because, like, I think even you had mentioned
in Gaia, he knew.
In Gaia, he knew. Is it in
And they find out halfway through Gaia that he is Gaia.
So it's.
Or no, not Gaia. No, that's in maybe. No, it is Gaia.
Like,
now I'm getting them mixed up.
Now, did somebody know in Dinah that he was? Oh, okay, but anyways, it's one of those things that I know the classic reasoning why you could not tell somebody you were Ultraman, because of the whole, if you said you were Ultraman, you could potentially die because you were a walking corpse. So, while it was kind of a stretch to say, well, we have to immediately evacuate your body if anybody knows, so you go back to being a corpse. But when I think of, like, more of the modern series, not saying that everybody has to be in on the secret, because Orb, not everybody was in on the secret. In
Orb, he wasn't even part of an organization, so that doesn't really count.
Well, but he did have that trio.
Just like in Nexus. Yeah, but just like in Nexus, the guy who was Ultraman was not part of the military.
I was about to say Gaim, but I know it's not Gaim.
But no, I don't know, it's just getting tiresome of how oblivious these guys are.
Well, in a way...
Especially in a world full of technology. Like, okay, back in the older ones, you could get away with it because you don't have cameras everywhere. In this day and age, or in them, when they're also in the future, they have cameras everywhere.
Well,
surely somebody has caught someone transforming into Ultraman.
Well, that's exactly it. I'm like, are you telling me that there's not a well-timed person? Because even Rube was the same way half the time. I'm like, how do you not see these two brothers turning into individual, especially when you have cameras? Because
actually, that would be pretty funny though. To have an Ultra series where he has to constantly look around to make sure he has no cameras around when he goes to transform.
Well, it's like George Reeves, during the original Superman series, he would have to look around before he went into the phone booth to transform, to basically take off his clothes to transform into Superman.
Well,
it's like, I have to look. How would you do that now if there's no phone booths?
At least with Zet, though, he went into a newer dimension, like an alternate dimension.
Oh, well, yeah. So,
I don't know.
I could beat this to a dead horse.
People are dumb.
Because, as I said, I am blonde and Polish. And I'm getting it. And if you don't understand how I could be blonde, this is all fake.
Anyway, what did you guys think of these episodes of Decker? Let us know in the comments. Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, anything else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. You can support us on Patreon at Kaiju no Kami, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, Kaiju no Kami, my website, Creativity by Design, OOC.com.
And while Silver Quill is not physically there, he is here in spirit.
Wait, he's not?
If you want to support Silver Quill, who is typically on our videos, are you looking to see if he's in the couch cushions?
Oh yeah, he's not there.
You can support Silver Quill on Twitter, Ko-fi or Coffee.
Coffee break!
And DVR at MLP. .silverquill, and if you look for him on YouTube, if you type in After the Fact, just ignore that news show. Silver Quill is much more entertaining, especially because he just did a video on the Halloween that almost wasn't. But with that said,
his new version of that, one guy was like, "Oh my God, this is terrible. Go back to the old way."
Seriously?
Yep.
Wow, people are asshats. So, with that said, let us know what you think of this review. I know he already did the outro stuff. And also, tell us what you think about just having the two of us again occasionally for different videos. Do you like this? Do you like to have Silver Quill here, where we try to hug Kaiju no Kami the entire time?
I don't mind Silver Quill not being here, because then I don't have to deal with that.
I can hug you. Well, not on camera, because you're not a PDA type person. 21 years, almost 22. It is almost 22, right?
But,
yes, it is. I just like, wait a minute, it was almost 22 years.
21 years, 2 months, 4 days, and
21 years and 2 months?
21 years. Okay, 21 years. 8. I was thinking 6 months for some reason plus
That's
2.
That's November.
8 months, 4 days, and as of right now, in 12 minutes, it will be 11 days. Or not 11 days, 5 days.
Oh my God, you can't do math or anything. How are you a teacher?
'Cause I'm tired, I've had a long day. With that said, whatever, it doesn't matter. Until next time, bye.